Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises to
YAHAWAH,
YAHAWAH,
YAHAWASHI, Rakakawadash.
double honors to the elders and apostles of GreatMillstone, and peace and blessing to the elect of Israel. We're the brothers here in GMS Tampa Bay. I'm the brother Mayakala, and I'm with
Malakaya.
And we're going to get into a quick exhortating lesson. Pretty much the title of it being "Don't Let Your Guard Down," right? And pretty much what letting your guard down means is, you not pretty much paying attention. As we are in spiritual warfare, you understanding that you're in a very worst case scenario as far as the condition of the earth is, and all the things that are going to happen on it. You being on your P's and Q's is crucial to your survival. All right, and that's ultimately doing the will of YAHAWASHI, right? And matter of fact, let's get started. I don't want to ramble too much, so just get it real quick.
Let's go ahead and get into it. It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour."
Right. So you think about a lion, which lions they hunt in packs, really going into the females, and what they do is by process of elimination, they set traps, to ultimately catch the weakest link of the group.
Right.
And once they lock eyes on the weakest link, then it's pretty much over with for the animal. And that's what Satan does with those believers. Okay, which he's not going to do with the elect. All right, which we are the hopeful elect. But as it says, he walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's the people that are losing faith. Not focused. Ultimately going back to sleep. And that's what's going to get a lot of people in trouble, because they're not watching. You might in fact grab some of those words, sober, and then grab vigilant.
Okay. All right. It's the word sober.
Strong's G 3525. Nepho.
Mm-hmm.
Nepho.
Right. So the Greek word nepho, it says to be sober, to be calm, collected in spirit.
Right. And that's that wisdom and knowledge and understanding, mm-hmm. Right, which is just the bit of our time, and that starts with the fear of the Lord. So being sober pretty much means you have your senses about you. You're on point. When you're not sober, when you're drunk, mm-hmm. You see a man, they can't walk straight. They can't focus. Their mind is clouded. And they get distracted. And that's what we don't want to be in these times, because that's going into the day of the Lord is going to be a thief in the night. Mm-hmm. And it says to be calm. Again, because the Lord gave us the Comforter. All right, we have the peace that He gave us, not the peace that the world gives, but the peace that He's given us, being His Word. Collected, cool, calm, and collected. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to separate the men of the Lord, all right, from the rest of people on the planet Earth when all hell starts breaking loose. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Scripture says that the day is going to overtake these people like a thief in the night. All right, it's because they're not being watchful. They're not looking. They're not right here it says circumspect. All right, they're not being circumspect. They're not looking around their surroundings. They're not meditated within the prophecies. They're not looking at these things to come. All right, this is why they get themselves rocked back to sleep, as the brother had mentioned earlier.
Yep, and that's why going through the Spirit's lesson, when you let your guard down, that's when the enemy attacks.
Right.
And that's Satan. The Spirit even say he's always trying to look for a weak point in your armor. We can grab that too. Put on the whole armor of the Most High. But anytime you want to interject, but if you want to go through the word more or get vigilant.
All right, Khan. I'm gonna do this one. It says to be temperate, dispassionate, and circumspect. Okay, a circumspect meaning what? Looking around. All right, and that's also going into I got one more quick precept I want to bring out for that. Ephesians 5. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15. It says, we'll start at verse 14. It says, "Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Hamashiach shall give thee light." So right now, the Lord has given us the light, all right, the eye salve to see these things, so that what we can be on point, all right, be on our P's and Q's. Verse 15, it says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly," all right, looking around, all right, being watchful. Okay, it says, "Not as fools, but as the wise," and we are being as the wise. Okay, because we're walking circumspectly. We're walking in the light of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. not as the fools, not as these people that's out here in the world who's basically indulged into the cares of this life, okay, such as their workplace, going out partying, their entertainment, okay, they're worrying about the families, they're worrying about all their different things, but they're not knowing that a day is coming that's going to catch them like a thief in the night, okay, because they're not being circumspect. Verse 16, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Okay, so these are the times that the days are being are progressing to be even more evil than what they were the day before. As you see the Texas shootings, okay, you see the different things that's going on throughout the earth. These days are becoming evil. Okay, so let's go back into that word in First Peter chapter 5, and vigilant.
Yeah.
Okay, Con. All right, it's the word vigilant.
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo.
All right.
Gregareo.
All right, and it says to watch, to wake, be vigilant. It says to watch.
Yep.
A metaphor as give strict attention to.
Yep, and that's keeping your eye single. You know, keeping your eye laser focused as a watchman. You know, again, you're supposed to watch out for danger. You know, and going into again being vigilant. You know, you have to understand. Again, you know, with you and yourself, you know what you are tempted by. You know, as the saying in I think is the Art of War. It says to know your enemy is to know yourself. You know, your enemy attacks what you know your weakest points are. You know, so it might be women, it might be drinking too much, it might be whatever. You know, that's why it's always going to balance. You know, we went into the last word, which was being sober. You know, again, it's going to be in focus. You know, and then really again being on point. You know.
All right, so Rizan says to give strict attention to be cautious, active, to take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one.
Yep, and that's how the Lord is setting this thing up. You know, when you're doing too much, you know, and we could grab that word real quick, you know, but you know that's why it talks about
which word?
Indolence.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the word indolence. It says avoidance of activity or exertion, laziness.
And go back to the
The word.
Yep.
Good word.
Yep. So it says, take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity overtake one. You know, so you know, again, going to that word you just read, you know, goes into again, you're not doing your job. It says to be a watchman. You know, it goes into being idle. You know, dormant. And you see right there, slothful. All right. You know, opposed to what? We're not supposed to be slothful. We're supposed to be doing the Father's business. You know, which is putting forth the work, the energy. You know, going into working out your own salvation. You know, with fear and trembling. You know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you can grab.
that again.
Oh yeah, read again and then grab one. Take grab one more.
God. This is the book of First Peter 5:8 again. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour."
Right.
Keep going more, or
No, I grab
I got another quick
Okay, yeah.
until you grab that.
Okay.
All right, because this day, all right, as the brother has mentioned, all right, and us being on our P's and Q's, all right, you don't want that day to take you like a thief in the night. Okay, so this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 5:1. This is why you're supposed to be indulged in these prophecies, indulge in the activity of serving YAHAWASHI, all right, being into this work. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right, so this is a warning, all right, to the hopeful elect. The Lord is letting us know, all right, that it is a day of the Lord. Different events is going to lead up into the second coming of our Lord. Okay, showing it's going to be destruction. It's going to be different things that's going to come that's going to catch this whole earth off guard. All right, verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety," and this is what you see them doing right now. All right, they're thinking that they're in great peace right now. They're in great safety. Okay, but these things is going to change overnight. Okay, all of a sudden. It says, "Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child." and they shall not escape. So the things that's coming upon this earth, okay, it's gonna be to where you're not gonna be able to escape. Okay, this pain, this travail that goes upon a woman when she's about to give birth, that's how it's about to come upon this whole earth. All right, a lot of wailing, a lot of crying, okay, a lot of confusion, and this is what the woman goes through in the time she's getting ready to give birth. How much more in the times that we are in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. We can close out on that. Was it Matthew 26 and 41 about watching and pray?
Okay. All right, it's the book of Matthew 26 and verse 41. It says, "Watch and pray, that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak."
And again, going to not letting your guard down. Ultimately, you have to always have up that shield of faith. Like it says in the book of Ephesians, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand the wiles of the devil, the trickery. Be not simpleton and getting deceived or getting tricked and trapped into something, or getting involved in something you don't need to be. That's why it goes into being temperate. You have to have self-control. It says he that strive for the mastery is temperate in all things, right? Because we're trying to obtain an incorruptible crown. So we're running to obtain. We have to finish our mission. So all the other stuff, especially, the times we're coming into, things are getting more straight. You have to start cutting things off that are not profitable to your salvation. Right. All this liberty we have is ultimately to get right with the Lord. But pretty much real soon it's going to be lights out. And it's either you have, your candles lit or you don't. So that's why, again, going to watching and praying. Again, keeping focus so you don't lose yourself. Again, falling back into the world. Because the vibration of this world is really wicked. And it's not going to get easier. So again, that's why it goes into that you don't fall into temptation. You're being tempted. Seduced, away from YAHAWASHI, But it says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So you have to what? You have to give into your strength, okay, which is the spirit. YAHAWASHI strengthen us through the spirit. But if we're always in the flesh, constantly feeding the flesh, well, that cuts off our connection with the Lord, because the flesh bring forth sin, and that's again, it's going to bring forth death, So you got any closing statements?
Oh no.
But that's pretty much the point. Just a quick exhortation. Of course, first and foremost, to ourselves, because things are gonna get real spooky, and things are gonna happen real quick, So if we're not privy to the times, again, being sober, we're gonna be left behind. At any moment, the Lord, speaking through His Spirit, the Spirit of servants and prophets, our apostles on down. This thing's about to wrap up. The year to turn up. Summer's coming up. A lot of wicked things are about to start happening upon earth. And again, if you're not in the bosom of the Lord, man, you're out there being wanton, being undisciplined, and you get yourself hurt, But that's why, again, it goes into entering the secret place of the Lord, so we can get out of here, He can keep us from the hour of temptation, which involves a chip, and then when all hell breaks loose, we have a hedge, which is our power, YAHAWASHI,
That's right.
So with that, those words be edifying, as we're going to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BaHashem, YAHWASHI, BaHashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of GreatMillstone. Peace and blessed elect of Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.